Hello students, hope you are fit and fine at your places. Today we will discuss about disorders of thyroid gland. Thyroid gland secretes three kind of hormones: thyroxine, triiodothyronine and calcitonin. Thyroxine is T4, triiodothyronine is T3 and calcitonin. These hormones promote cellular growth, metabolism and mental development. Disorders of these thyroid glands are broadly classified into hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is what? When the amount of thyroid hormones in our body is less than required amount. When they are exceeding the required amount, that is hyperthyroidism. So we'll discuss hypothyroidism first, then we will discuss hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a deficiency or low circulating level of thyroid hormones is resulting into hypothyroidism. It can be congenital, which may be known as cretinism, and it can also be acquired, which is known as juvenile hypothyroidism. Low level of T4 causes raise in TSH, means when the level of T4 is less in our body, it triggers the TSH to secrete more T4. So it is vice versa. If there is low level of T4 in our body, there will be eventually increase in TSH level, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. Absence or deficiency of T4 leads to abnormal development of CNS, central nervous system, in the neonates. In older children, deficiency of these hormones may cause decreased metabolism. Metabolism is the process by which we get energy, ATPs, growth retardation and delayed physical maturation. Now we'll discuss about the causes of hypothyroidism. There may be many causes. The congenital causes of hypothyroidism are thyroid agenesis or dysgenesis. Agenesis means when there is absence of thyroid gland, or dysgenesis when there is inability of thyroid gland to function properly, that is dysgenesis. Defect in the thyroid hormone synthesis, or maybe there is defect in hormone synthesis, or inherited defects of thyroid hormone receptors. When the receptors of thyroid gland is not receiving their signals properly. Maternal thyroid antibodies crossing the placenta may also be the cause of hypothyroidism. Iodine deficiency and antithyroid medications during pregnancy. When mother is pregnant, she may take radioiodine or carbimazole. It may also lead to hypothyroidism. Acquired postnatal causes of hypothyroidism are autoimmune thyroiditis, which is also known as Hashimoto's disease, radiation exposure, antithyroid drugs, iodine deficiency, thyroidectomy. Thyroidectomy is surgical removal of thyroid gland, and ingestion of goitrogens. These are the kind of foods, you can say, which interrupts the production of thyroid hormones by interfering in the intake of iodine. So when there is a less intake of iodine, there may be less production of TSH, or there may be less production of T3 and T4 hormones. So what is the meaning of these are the foods which interrupt the thyroid hormones. So eventually the person may have goiter. these food may be like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, soybeans, turnip, mustard greens. These are the foods which may interfere in the intake of iodine in our body. Secondary hypothyroidism occurs due to deficiency of TSH or TRH or hypopituitarism. Okay, clear? Next, we will discuss about the clinical manifestations. Neonates with congenital hypothyroidism are usually large and heavy at birth, with marked open posterior fontanelle and wide sutures. The earliest clinical manifestations may be found as lethargy, sluggishness, hoarse cry, feeding difficulties, hypotonia, and or oversleeping. Other features are persistent constipation, prolonged physiological jaundice. Jaundice are of two types: physiological and pathological. Abdominal, here we consider prolonged physiological jaundice, abdominal distension, and cold, dry, rough, thick skin. Umbilical herniation and anemia are common clinical manifestations in hypothyroidism. The classical features of cretinism appears usually at 8 to 12 weeks after birth. The characteristics cause facial features found with a large protruding tongue from large open mouth, with thick lips, puffy eyelids, depressed nasal bridge, seemingly wide apart eyes, and wrinkled forehead, with spare suppressed eyebrow and low level of hairline. Other clinical manifestation may be the scalp hair is scanty, there is less amount of hair on the scalp, rough, dry, and brittle. The hair may be brittle. Anterior fontanelle and coronal sutures are usually widely open. The neck is short with a pad of supraclavicular fat. Voices, horsey voice may be there. Dentation is delayed. Hypotonia is commonly found in these kind of children. Abdominal distension may be there with the pressure of an umbilical hernia. Umbilical herniation is very common in hypothyroidism. Hands are broad and short fingers. Poor feeding, constipation are commonly present. The child is having sluggish behavior. As we have earlier told that child may have maybe lethargy or having hypotonia. Mental retardation, delayed physical growth with infantile skeletal proportion. In acquired or late onset of hypothyroidism, the child present with growth retardation, short stature, stocky appearance. Stocky appearance means the child is like the height of the child is short. Child is short statured, but the shoulders are wide. So, large head, dull expression, puffy face, myxodermous skin, thick and pigmented skin, lethargic, cold, intolerance, hypotonia, delayed dentation, delayed puberty, delayed skeletal maturation, goiter may be there, and poor school performance. Obviously, the school performance will be poor. Gross mental retardation may be absent. Okay, now we will discuss about the diagnostic evaluations. Okay, for diagnostic evaluation, we need detailed family history with the history of antenatal period and the physical examination. In antenatal period, we'll check whether mother was taking any antithyroid drugs, or they may be taking thyroid drugs. We have to take history regarding this. And physical examination are also very important. From physical examination we can figure out whether like if baby is having puffy eyelids, depressed nasal bridge, these kind of things, then we can easily estimate that baby is having some problem with their thyroid gland. Neonatal screening in suspected cases for T4 and TSH, showing elevation of TSH and low T4. Okay, as I have told you earlier, if TSH level is high, it is just because the level of T4 is low, because the function of TSH is to stimulate the pituitary gland. It is the TSH is secreted from pituitary gland, and it is stimulating thyroid gland to produce more T4. It is through negative feedback mechanism, as you may have studied in your first year. Indicate congenital hypothyroidism. The older children, what we will see we'll see free T4 and T3 raising. Okay, what is free T4? Okay, now I'll tell you. What is free T3? Okay, there are two type of like hormones in our body. One are steroids and another are proteinaceous. Like one is non-proteinaceous, another is proteinaceous. Which are non-proteinaceous? They are steroid hormones. Like T4 is a steroid hormone. Now, what is the meaning of T4 free? What is the meaning of T4 free? First of all, you have to understand there are T4 free and T4 bound, which is donated by B. T4B plus T4 free is equal to T4 total. T4 total. So the T4 plus T4 free, T4B, T4 free is equal to T4 total. So total is always same, like 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. 8 will remain same. There may be possibility that 3 plus 5 is there, but 8 will be there. Do you understand? The amount of T4 bound may be changed, T4 free may be changed, but the total will remain same. So while we are checking for the level of T4, we will not check for the level of T4 bound or T4 total. We will check the amount of T4 free in our body. So here they are trying to say this. Elevation of thyroid antibodies indicates autoimmune thyroiditis. It means it's autoimmune. Autoimmune means it is arising from our immune system. Our immune system is not responding properly. And next we may have X-rays shows delayed bone age and abdominal growth rate. Thyroid nuclear scan shows the age and the abnormal growth rate. Bone age is delayed, abnormal growth rate may be there. Nuclear scan we will find there is reduced intake. Serum cholesterol is usually elevated beyond the age of 3 years of children. Serum carotene and prolactin level are raised. Alkaline phosphate is low. Low thyroglobulin level indicates inborn error of thyroid synthesis, and low urinary iodine excretion indicates iodine deficiency. TSH estimation helps in detect the secondary hypothyroidism. Lack of thyroid gland may be needed in case to continue there is continuous enlargement of thyroid gland. What is FNAC? FNAC is FNAC is when we are aspirating for cytology, when we are aspirating some fluid from a particular gland or a nodule. It is a procedure. Next is management. How we can manage hypothyroidism in children. Replacement therapy is the best therapy in thyroid treatment, and the prognosis of this treatment is almost very good. 99% of children, not 99%, 90% of children get their proper growth and proper status of livelihood. Replacement therapy with synthetic levothyroxine should be started as early as possible to maintain the normal thyroid function. Replacement therapy may be needed, may be continuous throughout the life. So if any therapy which is we need to continue throughout the life, we have to counsel the parents regarding this, that the therapy will continue throughout the life, so that they may adapt it sooner and earlier. Need explanation for the lifelong treatment. Okay, the prognosis is very good if patient is taking medicine properly at proper time. If we may diagnose at proper time, early age, the prognosis is very good. With adequate replacement therapy within 6 months, physical growth is fairly gratifying, and 50% of these children may have good mental development, even IQ more than 90% or even more than this. So it is all about disorder, not disorder only. We have done hypothyroidism today. In next session we will talk about hyperthyroidism. Thank you.